multitasking here. Let me call this guy, man. Nothing, right? Hold on. Do it now?
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Here we go.
What the headphones for this one?
Yeah, this one don't. Maybe this is this one because this one don't
Ready?
even reach.
Yeah.
This one don't even reach over there. So.
So where's his? Yeah, just you could. He could keep those. You could slide.
See this one.
You want to put those away? Shit, I feel important up in here, kid. I could lean back and shit.
Okay.
Oh, this is ill.
You in the captain
Test,
seat?
test, test, test.
Must-
This one don't reach either.
Test, test.
Test, test, test.
No, not you.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Test, test, yellow.
France, blue.
Test,
Test.
test,
You
test,
the green
test.
joint.
Oh.
I'm
Do
green.
it again.
Yeah, I'm blue. Test, test, test.
You. Go ahead, green.
Test, test.
You can hear yourself.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Alright, so you good.
This ain't reaching, but do I need them?
It helps.
Yeah, just to hear your levels.
You're gonna feel odd if you don't have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep the phone on the table for whenever.
Yeah, let me
Can I
turn,
see if-
I want
if
to turn my
these fit?
volume off.
Him?
Yeah.
You got.
Yeah, let me see if it reaches. Yeah, yeah.
They fit.
Yeah.
They reach.
Yeah.
Still
Nah.
no.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what it is. So I can't move it because we ended up putting this here.
Oh, it's fine. I mean, if you guys can hear me, you should be able to tell me if I'm in or if I'm
But you're
off.
not gonna
or
know how loud you're getting.
Oh, okay. I get you. I get you. I mean, I'll
This-
just
this
get.
is it for you?
I'll get as close to me as I'll get as close as possible.
This is it for you. You want to start?
Yeah, I think I'm ready.
Let me turn this off.
If he hits me back, I'll jack him in.
Hey, yo.
Pause.
That was
Pause,
kind of crazy.
man.
That's kind of crazy.
I don't know.
right?
I don't know, man. I don't be on
Yeah,
some pause
yeah,
shit like
yeah,
that.
Yo,
hold
some
on,
that one
hold on.
deserved it,
I'm
man.
just gonna
I'ma
say
jack
this.
him
I'm
in.
Nah, cause
I'm
yesterday he
here,
checked
so
where
I'm
I'm.
trying to be
You know,
easy on that one.
We on our way to the event yesterday. He hits me up. He goes, "Yo, I'm on my way.
I
How
just
you
be
how you
playing.
looking?"
I
He
just
goes,
be
he goes, he
playing.
goes, "How you looking?" Pause. I'm like,
Yeah,
Nah, that one I was just playing, but that one now.
yeah. That last one you just said was
That
kind
one
of
was a
crazy.
little crucial right
Pause.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody phone on airplane.
yeah.
Vibrate.
Yeah,
Oh.
I turned it off completely. Is that
Okay, cool.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Oh no, I got a wife. I need to see if that text come in, boy.
Yeah, I
You
feel
on
you,
the
man.
Wi-Fi, right?
Yeah, I'm on the
Yeah,
Wi-Fi.
so as long as
No,
you
I'm on
vibrate.
airplane. I'm good.
You on vibrate?
Yeah.
Then we set.
Well,
When you're ready.
we'll talk about that, but
I'm ready.
I never know how that airplane stuff work.
Yeah.
No, I just know that if I put it on there, certain things shut off. But I don't know if I could still use the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
While I'm
Yeah, you
on.
can still use the
Oh,
Wi-Fi,
yeah?
so you can still get your
Yeah.
things coming through.
I can
Yeah.
use it if you need it.
Yeah, no, I don't need it.
Okay.
I'm just saying for like, I'm just dumb about
for
that stuff.
future
So when I get on the
reference,
actual airplane, I hear people say, that, "Oh, for me, I'm scared of that." So when I hear the captain say, "Turn it off," it go off.
Yeah, my
There's
man's like
no-
off.
there's no-
all the
Fuck
way.
that.
There's no airplane mode.
All
That
the way
goes
off.
off.
You're like, I don't want no
That's it.
signals.
Yeah, hell no. I'll be shook.
All right, man. So locked and loaded, fresh off of Pearly Gates 2. We here in the studio,
Yeah.
ready to recap this event. My man, Program V.
Yeah. I'm excited, brother.
We got a special guest in the building. We got Jlegend.
Word up.
Welcome, brother.
Yeah,
Welcome,
thank you,
brother.
guys.
Welcome, brother.
Salute to you guys. Thanks for having me on, man.
Battle Rap Opinions. Check
Yeah,
out his
man.
show, The Union, with my man Visual.
Yeah, salute to them guys, DME, Visual, and the unofficial member who creeps in every now and again, Big Al. Big Al. Just
I like
tryna
the
hear
Union
that,
show
man.
because you guys talk about all of like the outsides of battle rap.
Yeah.
You guys got to get consistent with it.
Something's wrong. Oh, that's you.
Yeah. I turned it off.
Yeah.
So
No,
I really
no,
want to see you guys get like a little more consistent with your show because I love the
Yeah.
topics you guys touch on.
No, yeah. What it is that for anybody who hasn't seen or listened to us before, DME is all the way in Detroit, Visual's all the way in Connecticut.
Mhm.
I'm out here between Harlem and Brooklyn,
Mm-hmm.
and so trying to match times up with things, you know what I'm saying? And then clearly everybody's life is always crazy, so
Right.
it's like
Yeah.
we try to get one day where we got like clear time, and
Mm-hmm.
then we just as time is going, we just building up on topics. So that way we record all in one shot and then be able to put them out sporadically across our channels.
Nice.
So
Right,
the beauty of it, it actually started with an idea I had, which was at the time, including myself, there was a few people who had certain issues with other bloggers. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
what I was just saying was I had gotten clearly to a point where it was like, yo, I'm tired of the blogging issues overshadowing what we here for.
Right.
Listen, the three of us right now would not be having a conversation if it wasn't for battle rap.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, who knows? In our life, we probably walked past each other before, never even knew that. But battle rap brought us together. So I came up with the idea where I was like, hey, you know what? Instead of doing all of that, I'm gonna start reaching out to other bloggers, and we're gonna start doing little things across topics. Because the other thing too is I don't really talk to people that much, so I would be at events. And I seen other people and was a lot of enthusiasm.
So you
for the
knew
battle rap.
everybody. You just like didn't chop it up with like a lot of the people.
Yeah,
too.
because like I just come from from the streets, so I'm not that easy to walk up and talk to people.
Gotcha.
So when I would be at events, like, and this before I even started blogging, like people would come up to me and just talk battle rap.
Yeah.
And like I found it weird, like, yo, my man, what you walking up on me like that for? But you know, I had to start understanding, like, yo, you know what this is actually a celebration of our culture.
That's what I was just about to
You know
say.
what I'm
It
saying?
actually is a culture because we
Yes.
got our
No, it
own
is.
language.
It is, man.
Like, think about
is.
this. Like, when I'm at work, ain't nobody I could talk to at work about battle rap. I'm sure when you at work, who you
Yeah.
talking to about battle
Yeah,
rap?
no.
Same thing with you, friends. But it's like, you know, through the internet and through Twitter, we all could reach out. And now it's like there is a real life, and it's like it's cool to be to see other folks who got the same enthusiasm as you do for the culture. You know what I
and
mean?
it took some getting used to, but then I was happy I was doing that because, like, especially I don't know if you guys ever went to a Trap New York battle.
I've been in a couple.
Yeah, but you know it's a very small room
Very
and stuff
small.
like that. So
Very
everyone is
intimate.
literally everyone is literally right on each other.
Yeah.
And ARP, RB, salute to them. They've done events there too. Back then when they used the Funkadelic studio. So the thing was, like, it took for me to get used to that, but it was just seeing the enthusiasm from everybody, their love for the culture, and then they can't help but their excitement, anticipating certain battles, and then they like you're on the line and they just keep looking at you and looking at you like bursting, ready to just give their opinions off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So after a while, I just started putting that together and looking at the whole blogger beefing thing, and I just was like, you know what's crazy is, you know, where I come from, if you really had an issue, there is none of this showboating on internet. Like, when I see you, we gonna see what's up.
Right.
So, you know, I just started telling everybody, like, yo, you know what, they really not beefing. And to take it even further, I've been at events where, you know, someone might have said something slick, and then when I see them, like, they're copping the plead 100%. And I had to get used to that stuff. And then I was like, yo, you know what, this is stupid. Because all we're going to do is have the potential to ruin an event that we really not only paid to be here for, but we've really been waiting for.
Right.
The excitement, you know what I'm saying? So I just changed it around, and Visuel made that easy because he did I never knew him. He did a top 40 blogger thing.
Yeah, shout out to him. He put me in that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's when I was more open to checking out everybody else's work, because I don't like watching everybody, because I don't ever want nobody saying, oh, you stole my topic, or you this, you that. So I went, but I opened up to it, and I was like, yo, you know what? I'm wrong here. Like, what I should be doing is reaching out and trying to see what's up with everybody, you know what I'm saying? And even more so, that's what makes the culture that we love grow more.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? We have to have these links, whether you a blogger, you're not. If you're just a regular fan,
It's a niche culture, so it's already very zoomed in, and we're all covering the same topics for the same fan base, same audience. So it's kind of like there's no point in so much segregation of it, where everybody can come together and link and you know, discuss and pick each other's brains and their mindsets and see how they view things, because everything's about perspective in battle rap.
that's all is ever gonna be, is coming from perspective. But the thing also, and again, it was helping me out because I had to open up more to everyone else's opinion.
Yeah, not only that, it's like, man, when you step back and think about it, I'm like, I'm not fighting no other man over my opinion of what two other grown men are saying to each other on the stage. You know what I'm saying? When you step back and think about it, like, I'm going to fight you because of what you think about what these guys are rapping about. I'm like, this shit is stupid.
You know what's the beauty of Pearly Gates 2?
Yeah.
We get to end the opinion.
That's right.
You feel me?
There's no opinions, kid. It's nothing but
Even my
battles.
I recapped every single one, which I have been doing since I started blogging. Like I would just do them right there on the spot because I wanted like my opinion on the spot. I didn't want none else to taint. I didn't want to talk to you or you taint my opinion, and I wanted to give my raw opinion. And later on, if I wanted to, do it again, I could.
Yeah, me and V come to the set, and we never even.
Yeah, we don't even chop it up about.
We freestyle it all the time.
We might
That's
get
the
like
best
some
thing to
topics
do.
down, and then like I don't even want to know what you're talking about.
That's
Because
the
I
best
don't
thing.
want you to influence me in any way,
Right.
and I don't want to hold back anything I want to say or think about anything differently.
And it's organic.
Exactly.
No,
exactly.
no. But that's to me the best part. To me, that's the best part. That is organic. And then the other thing too is, I want to be able to have that conversation, because you might, like, even today, one of you might say something that might actually change my opinion, right? But I want to get the opportunity to give you my opinion first, and then we're gonna go. And that's the beauty of it, because if we talking about it way beforehand, and then sometimes too, if I heard your opinion and I think it's ridiculous,
you might just tune me out all the way.
Exactly. By the time we start to get on here talking, like no one's trying to hear that. But then, like I said, like yesterday, the judge battles that I even said it in my blog. I was like, well, my opinion don't even matter, because the official judge, that's what they agreed to. But again, bringing it back to the union, that's also what made it great with us three. Us three all have different personalities, different opinions. We agree on a lot of things, then we disagree on a lot of things. But the moral of the story is, what made it so great was just the point that not only were we all willing to do it with each other, but we didn't have that. It was the love for battle rap, and it was none of that beefing, stupid. You know what I mean? Like, we respect each other's opinion. You guys have seen it before. We let each other talk. Here and there, someone might overtalk somebody just slightly, but we let each other talk. Then we address that. And that's the best way.
That's dope, man. And you got to see the event from the crib. You ordered the pay-per-view.
Yes, sir.
What you think of the pay-per-view quality and the audio? And
I was just talking with him on the way here. I don't like the audio. I thought the audio sucked, especially when it was interview time.
Yeah,
I thought that audio sucked.
Was the music in the background during the interviews really hard to listen to? The interviews?
I hated it, and because then it got to a point where certain times in the interview, especially when they was interviewing Mook, which I didn't care for.
Man.
Yeah. No, yeah. We could go out the gate with that.
Thanks.
But
We're gonna get there.
But it was like he's sitting there saying, "Yo, man, I can't even. He was saying it. Yo, I gotta keep going over the music." And you could see other people during the interview doing that, having to feel the need to go
Over the music.
above.
So
Not
the
to
audio-
mention, you had people in the video walking past the table in front of the camera. They had to keep stopping people, and I'm like, no one thought to take, because. Like, come on, when you're there at the event, for those who haven't ever been there, they already rope off a certain area for the camera. So you mean to tell me you have a table over there that you're doing a live feed, interviews and stuff, and no one thought maybe block off this little walkway here? Because where they were at is possible.
It was kind of blocked off, but there was a little gap right there where you can
People
walk
just slid
past
right
it.
through, yeah.
Oh,
But
yeah?
the weird thing is, like, that moment where you could walk past it was where the live stream was. So, like, anybody walking there would.
It was a
it
little
didn't make any
crazy, man.
sense.
Because we were standing right in that section, because
Yeah.
it was like you got a little AC breeze in that
Yeah.
section. It was nice and
Yes.
clear to the
Yeah.
stage.
And
right
that was
there.
that was the left corner, right?
Yeah, and I'm like, yo,
Yeah,
why
yeah.
people just keep
I
walking
do
past
like what they're
that?
doing though. Shouts to Direct. He was giving the live updates on the
Yeah.
Rap Girl Twitter,
Yeah.
doing the live stream, doing a little stories, the little clips, and you had Newborn there commentating.
Yeah.
I like that. I actually like Newborn commentating to a degree. Again, certain parts of the Mook interview, I would just wish he wouldn't have. I like what D-Rec was talking to him.
Direct should definitely do more of the
Yeah.
interviews.
Yo,
But he was doing so much
yeah,
already.
he was doing a lot, man. I mean,
That's the
seeing
problem,
him there,
right?
he's running
That's
this
the problem,
camera, he's
man.
running the phone, he's running social media, he's checking.
I
on
wanted
this,
to talk
checking
to him.
on
He was
that.
so busy. I'm like, I'll definitely chop it up with him another time.
I don't know. Salute to that man.
And how
I
was,
don't know how he was doing all that. Man.
How was the visuals from?
Well,
from home?
It's only one camera angle.
And what was your
yeah,
setup?
I
Hold
didn't
on.
like that.
See, before we get there, I like to know how people like to
Yeah.
set up their situations when they at
Yeah.
the crib watching the battles. Are you watching it alone? Or
No,
you
I
got
had,
some wings? Like, what you got going
yeah,
on? Are you
here we go.
pre-gaming before? Like, how
Yeah.
do you talk
See-
me through your battle day
All
when
right.
that pay-per-view
The
starts?
regular one or yesterday?
But how you normally do it and how you broke it down yesterday.
All right.
Yeah.
So normally, most of the time, I'm at one of the events,
Mhm.
so that's different. And then, here and there, I'll go and purchase the pay-per-view so that the next day I can check it out
Right.
anyway. But a big thing for me is I want silence around me. But it was hard
Same
yesterday
thing
because
with
my
me.
kids
Yeah.
and my nephews and everybody was in the house. So that was difficult. You
Making
can
it
hear it in my
hard.
blog too. You hear the so I had the TV blasting.
Yeah.
Like during the battle, it was blasting.
Uh-huh.
And then, a few times I kicked everybody out. Like, nope, go out. Go. My son coming over. Daddy, cannot. I don't want to hear it.
Not
You better-
today.
You
Not
better just
today.
go over there. I told you guys.
Yeah.
Hey, from 2 o'clock to 7 o'clock, I'm not daddy. I'm the guy on the couch. You don't know me. Keep going, man.
That's a boost,
You know what I
man.
mean? But
Battle
yeah,
rap life, yo.
yeah. See what it was, and which was a big reason why I didn't make the event yesterday. Was I actually my allergies had me so bad. That's why I got sunglasses, and I'm not stunting on nobody right now. I got sunglasses right now because my
Got the
allergies have
rosé
my eyes. Yeah,
I thought it was because Cinco de Mayo and you was out. You know.
Turn it up, kid.
my eye, especially during the weekend, like my
Yeah.
eye had literally closed. Like my allergies
Damn,
sometimes
son.
get
Wow.
like that.
Wow.
Yeah, so
I feel
again,
bad for having these. I don't even have
yeah, man.
allergies.
Shout out to Math, man, because Math had invited me to go on the stage with him yesterday,
Oh,
and I
dope.
had to turn that down because I couldn't make it. And then the other thing too was yesterday was the first day that I was able to open my eye more.
Wow.
So yeah, I was waiting for the medicine to kick in and all
Yeah.
that. So I couldn't make it. Salute to Math again. I will see him in Mass 4. But the thing was normally. And my thing, I would have had a little Hennessy, I would have had my little biz,
Yeah.
you know
Right.
what I'm saying? The setup would have been good money like that.
Yeah.
Definitely some wings and stuff. The majority of times, I am watching the battles by myself.
Mhm.
Yesterday, I had Big Al, salute to Big Al Biggs. He came through and was
Salute,
rocking with
salute.
me. Prior to here and there events, like I had my man, salute Rock Marciano.
Salute, salute.
Yeah, he's a few times been with me, but for the most part, I'm by myself because of the dates. Like I have my my kids on weekends, so if I can't make a certain event on a Saturday, I have my laptop hooked up to my TV and stuff like that, and then my thing is just like, all right, to the kids, do whatever the hell you want. Well,
Pops
I'll
alone.
have somebody, I'll give
Right,
somebody here goes some movie tickets. Take these kids. You know what I mean? So most of the time by myself checking it, you know what I'm saying? But here and there I have other people, a few drinks, a little bit of food, but as much silence as possible.
So
Same
we're
thing
we're
with
about
me,
to start
man.
this recap, and ironically, just now I got a text. I actually got a text just now from
Oh.
Jay Murder.
Okay, okay.
Salute
So-
Jay Murder,
Yeah,
man.
salute Jay
him, man.
Murder. So I'm about to see if we could plug him in for a quick 5-10 minutes and
Uh-huh.
hear his thoughts on the battle.
For sure, man.
Let me see if
Let
I
me
can
see what
I
Jay
can
see if
Murder
we
has
could
to
do
say
that.
about my opinion.
Oh man,
Maybe
So-
we could do it on speakerphone, maybe.
I could probably call him on a speakerphone.
Can you call him from Skype to his number?
Nah,
Yeah, he
He has to
probably-
have a Skype.
Got
he,
you.
he doesn't have a Skype.
Maybe just put him on speaker then.
I'll throw him on speaker.
Yeah, why
Yeah,
not?
try it. Give it a shot.
It's pretty dope that he hit me up just now. We was just about to recap his battle. That's the
dope.
first
Nah,
match.
Crazy.
man, that's
That's,
dope.
that's the first
Hit
match
him
we
up,
had
hit him
here.
It's would you mind turning my vocals up just a little bit? I can't really hear myself that well.
Yeah, I don't hear myself anymore
I can
in the
hear you.
earphones. You could hear me?
I can hear you. 1 2 1 2. Oh, thank you so much.
I'm not even
Appreciate
close
that.
to this
Yeah,
mic.
It's just that you'll go up and down because you go up and down.
Okay,
Oh,
cool. You
yeah,
know
yeah,
what? Then do
Yeah.
whatever it is to make it sound good. Perfect. I just
Yeah.
I didn't know. I couldn't hear myself.
Sometimes
Yo. Yo, my guy, fresh off his win off Pearly Gates, friend of the show. Jay Murder, what it do, bro?
Still breathing, you already know, man.
Murder. What up?
Yo, man, I'm here in the studio, man. We recapping and we looking at the judges' score box and shit. And then I was like, let me see if I get you on the phone here real quick. What you think of your battle and the score and the judging system of it all?
I think the score would definitely, as far as the overruling, I think it was good. Obviously, I won. You know what I'm saying? I'm not disagreeing with that. I don't disagree with the decision, obviously. I just feel like the score is definitely off, just the way they judged it, because for the sense you got them giving me my first and third, you got people telling me I got that second round, my best round, but the judges are saying I won the first and the third. Then you got people saying the third and second is better than I got, and they give him the first. So just the fact that y'all debating that I even got all 3 rounds is a clear win. You feel me? But overall, I ain't mad at nothing. You feel me?
I thought it was odd that some judges had you lose in the first round when Magic stumbled.
Yeah, I didn't know how that went down, man.
Yeah, that's what it was. The first round he had to slip up. So it's like I actually seen somebody
What?
I don't know. I was we were in the building, man, and we didn't see that.
Yeah, man, well, I'm glad you guys got eyes that work and ears. People supposedly, I guess, bought the pay-per-view or lying like they was there. But you know how that should be, man. I wouldn't hold it to nobody. People actually do that shit.
I'm here with one of the bloggers. His name is Jlegend. He got a question for you.
Well, I'm a flat out say it. Like I've been there for multiple battles of yours. I was there for the Low Soul joint right there on the stage. So nothing I'm about to say is to take away from you. And of course, like I'm disappointed 2-on-2 didn't happen. But I personally had you losing this battle, but I didn't have. It's not like, first off, I didn't like the scoring the way some of it was. I thought Magic edged it. That's just my opinion. I didn't think that you damn sure didn't slip up and choke. I don't know where people got that. I just think that they was like I'm guessing it was either the first or the second where it seemed like you were slow, like in the beginning of the round seemed slow, then you picked up from there. But I actually thought the second round for the both of you guys, I had it tied for different reasons. And I definitely thought some of the bars you had in that second round went over some people's head. I don't know what
A
the
lot
hell
of
was
his
wrong
bars
with
went
him.
over heads that day.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But me personally, I did have you losing this battle, but it wasn't like I seen it like you was getting stomped out or something. I just was like, I believe it was the second round that I just felt was like more of a preference round for whoever, because I actually had that round tied up. But I gave Magic the first, and the reason why I didn't think that slip up was that bad, to be honest. And then the third, like I do wanted to watch it back, but I thought that third two was just so close, and I just edged Magic on that.
Oh man.
You know, you did the blog with Big Al.
Yeah.
I was already familiar with your decision, your vote, everything you were just talking. I'm like, I know exactly what this is. All I can say, the coach will appreciate you niggas for actually doing shit like that. You know, keep shit going and on. But you was drunk, bro.
Maybe it was the allergy medicine.
You know what?
Could have been.
It's crazy because
I was 100% sober.
Yo.
you have an opinion, but now at this point, opinions don't matter.
Yeah.
I ain't disagreeing with nobody's opinion. I'm not gonna. No, I can disagree with somebody's opinion. I'm not arguing with nobody's opinion. You feel me? So,
No, hell no.
salute.
Yo.
Listen, the more they debate about it, the more replay value the better is only gonna have. So, look, niggas say that I lost to JC. The judges said I lost to JC, and the people had me winning. So it actually did more. You never know.
Yeah, I actually had. I believe I had you edging JC myself.
I got a question for you, Murder. Do you think? I feel like personally, this win probably would have done more for you than winning the 2-on-2. What do you think?
I agree because it's more direct credit. You know what I'm saying? It's not more like a 2-on-2, which you just the same thing. If we fuck 2-on-2, you can blame it on chemistry. If we did good at 2-on-2, you obviously gonna give that credit to the chemistry, not specifically one artist than the other. It's the team itself. So being at the fact, of course, this did more for me. But the 2-on-2 would have just been dope as in something new for the culture to see me and so forth. And just to start just to get in that lane, you feel me? Because I'm anxious. It's overdue for 2-on-2.
Now, Murder, congratulations on your victory, man. I clearly had you taking this battle. I thought your first round was definitely higher than a 6. The second round I thought was Magic's best round.
Yo, I just seen that.
And then
that was a little off to me
that
too.
was crazy.
and your last round, that and one scheme, man, for 7 to 8 days prep, Murder, I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't expect this level of material you would have, man. Talk to me about your writing process over the past 7 days. How'd you get it all together? And talk about the mind frame of going from a 2-on-2 to switching it up totally and battling B Magic within 8 days prep, man. Talk about that, my brother.
Now, well, see, I see people also saying like trying to discredit where they say Murder also did that 2-on-2, so he probably had bars where he just kind of incorporated Magic shit. If you hear the structure of these bars are fresh. They don't really have a straight out directed format. You could tell that this is just very well intricate, put together bars. And You know what I'm saying? I made it work. Like, I'm talking about the headache I was having was just tremendous, bro. Like, I kept telling myself, if DNA, shouts to him, Dre Dennis, and any other rapper that can do this shit every other fucking weekend, every week, you know, power to you. But I look in the mirror and I tell myself, yo, I'm an artist. It should be nothing. If I'm watching 15 minutes of TV, I'm doing 15 minutes of the wrong thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's real.
I need to be here writing. If I don't like what I wrote for the next hour, I'm gonna keep writing. Eventually, I'm gonna go write something I do like. And it came to the point where I was losing sleep out of this. Like, I said it in the battle. Like, I knew I wasn't gonna sleep. Like, I knew 8 days, be magic, and it's all about, oh, he's slouching, he's not the same. All right, but that's not the point. Because if he doesn't come slouching, I'm gonna get smoked. So let me not play around. Let me get on the top of the A game. And as far as the material being as dope as y'all like it, I feel like, let's put it like, I felt real comfortable with it, and I had to remind myself of who I was. I feel like when I came into this shit, I was doing a lot more of the shit I was doing yesterday. And I kind of gravitated towards the fact that the fans loved when I did the whole real nigga shit this and aggressive and gruesome bars and all of that shit. So I kind of gravitated towards that, but I feel like I forgot about, all right, let me give these niggas the versatility that I actually have. Let me start scheming on them. Let me show these niggas how I be doing this shit. And then, you know, the way that I put my words together, I feel it's totally different than everybody else. So, man, I'll tell you, and one scheme to me was fun, and it's hard to what to scheme about at a point because people just schemed out everything.
Yo, let me tell you, man, as a dude who watched every single and one mixtape and episode on ESPN, yo, my dude, I had to make sure I didn't play myself and go too crazy before you ended the scheme. I didn't want to be that guy in the crowd. But yo, when you got to the end of that shit, man, yo, it was fire. Could you do us a favor and just break that scheme down for us for anyone who might have missed it? Because the crowd was going crazy. So if anyone might have missed it, could you break it down for us?
I was explaining that around to my peoples too. Like, yo, I had to bring that scheme back. I said I caught a headache just wondering what you came to spit for being hot. Sources couldn't handle the fact this is someone who the game will get. The Spider-Man being a professor, hey, yo, that ain't changed a bit. I grew up by the alley, Mo, when the shit escalate, I bang the text.
Damn.
And before to the gates, let it air up there until the gates is wrecked. And one more thing, with this 50, I'm sick with it. And hope 30, but you'll be dead before the last round. This the main event.
Oh, man. Damn.
That shit was crazy,
This
man.
was fire, man. Fire.
And the one last thing I gotta ask before I close things out, and I definitely want to continue with the recap and the rest of the battles. You said earlier when I linked up with you this year that you was hungry this year, that you were not taking anything off. Like every battle you was gonna give it 110%. And I've noticed like your lyricism is increasing. Like what has changed that you feel like you've gotten better as a rapper?
I feel like I always felt my lyricism and my pen was always elite.
No, I agree, but it's getting better. That's what I'm saying. Like.
But look, this is what I'm saying, though. This is what I'm getting to. I always felt that it was dope and elite, like top 10 pen. Definitely crazy pen, whatever the fuck. Long story short, what I'm saying is I realized I started getting too crazy with the pen. Just because I understand everything I'm writing and all my shit don't mean the fans is going to get it. So I really had to dumb it down. But I never liked the term dumb it down.
So
I don't like that either.
I learned a little bit more like, yo, boy, it's more like cadence. It's catering. So you got to do just the right amount of salt, just the right amount of sugar, right amount of this, right amount of that. And I sat there and I'm rapping this shit. When I rap to certain people that have a general ear, like I can rap this shit to you. If I rap this shit to somebody who doesn't really catch all these little bars like that, they just there quiet as hell while I'm sparring it. You know what I'm saying? But I realize simple bars and haymakers they going crazy for. So then I know now when I rap that shit to the crowd, they're not going to catch it. So it's really about just learning how to format and structure your bars more. That kind of got me like, you know what? I can't do it the dragged out 12-bar scheme. I can't do it. I got to compact it on the thick bars. So it's going to be 6 bars. They got to be straight to the point and have substance. You know, and it's just really pushing everything, rereading it, like really reading the bar and like, this is fire, but something's missing, or maybe something has a little bit too much in it. It's like.
So basically, you don't have to dumb it down, but don't overcomplicate it. Pretty much.
Yeah, don't exactly. That's what it is. Foster Boss, if you really listen to that battle, like the shit is just crazy. I got people that tell me, yo, you against Foster is crazy, but just your ignorance in that battle is what overshadowed everything. Like I ain't even like it. So, I apologize to my fans, and I told them, y'all see, I ain't burping, man. I ain't burping.
Yo, all right, you didn't burp, but you would taking you would doing a selfie joint, man. Do you think that's taking it too far?
Nah, that was funny.
I feel like I don't know, man. It's like I'm known for that, man. It's something. I can teach you one way or another. I'm not gonna disrespect you and burp. I'm not gonna throw you off the stage, man. I want a video. I want a live video.
Okay, all right.
I'm about to make a compilation of everybody out there too.
I like after the battle, you had your interview, then you walked off to like where like the kitchen is. I'm like, oh, he's gonna get his money.
Get that chicken.
Yo.
You know how that go, man. Salute the Magic's check.
Yo,
Salute that PRB, you know what I'm saying? And definitely, man. Salute all of you for making that shit happen on the replacement and giving y'all something. I'm sorry for the 212 not happening once again.
Yo, what's good with Show Off?
Show still breathing, man.
All right, man. You know what? That's all I need to know, man. I'm glad he's still breathing. Hopefully he can handle what he needs to handle and get back to business, because I know life is bigger than battle rap, but I'm glad that he's all right in the physical form. You know what I mean?
That's all I can pretty much give you at this moment. I apologize, but I'm glad y'all enjoyed the replacement once again. I'm glad y'all.
Yeah, it was fire, man. Good performance, brother.
Yeah, you had a pretty decent bounce back. Be Magic, so it's a good win. It's a good win.
No. Man, it was that low
It's definitely a good win.
That's what it was when I told you. It was that low show battle. I told y'all, like, I beat myself. Like, obviously he won. He beat me. But I'm saying, like, I know I wasn't so happy with my performance, and it was so much that I was in control of, that I fucked up, that I said, I'm not letting that happen again. And I had a battle last weekend before this weekend at Gate to the Garden.
Right.
I did this battle with short notice in a week prep, and I got a battle next weekend right in Texas, May 12th.
Shouts to you, man. You working, man.
Working.
Murder, appreciate you calling in, bro.
Let me ask you one more question. If you get some.
And if you get a chance to, man, like I said, Twitter, JMurder_FTW, Instagram, JMurderFTW. Y'all get a chance, check out Street Dreams and the Money Power Respect Freestyle on YouTube. I'm gonna get over there, man. Stay tuned, KK47 TV. Fuck the world, get fucked by.
Yo, Murder, let me ask you one last thing before you go, man.
Sure.
Yeah, how close was the replacement battle to not happening at all?
Good question.
Very fucking close. There was almost a replacement 2-on-2 about to go down.
Wow.
That was right.
With you and who?
We were very close to making that shit happen.
Who was gonna be your partner?
Moneybags.
That would have been good.
That would have been
dope.
interesting.
That would have been dope.
So that was gonna be happening, and then. But just sometimes you don't want to put that. I ain't want to put that type of pressure on Moneybag. Moneybag was ready though. I'll tell you that. At this situation, it wasn't us.
I heard it.
Yo, ultimately, man, it was a good look for you, man. Great performance last night, my brother. Continue success, man. Stay in your bag, man. Stay in this bag that you're in right now, my dude. You got the formula. Keep rocking with this, man. Don't get too crazy. Keep rocking with this formula you got right here, my brother.
Definitely will. But I appreciate all y'all genuine support and all that.
No
Have a
doubt,
good
my
one,
dude.
bro.
Peace. All right, Jay Murdo on the check
Salute
in.
to him for calling in, man. That was dope.
Yeah, man, that was pretty
man.
dope. And he got the bag.
He got the bag, man, and he deserved the bag too. And like
But before we move on to the next battle, I feel like we talked a lot about Murder's performance. What about Magic?
yo, Magic was clean.
Yeah,
He was
Magic.
clean, man.
Listen, I liked what Magic had.
I
Personally,
see. Yeah, you had him winning.
Yeah, you had him winning.
Yeah. Listen, but because here's the thing for me, if you choke, you lose the round.
Mm-hmm.
If you choke, you lose the round. And I really think that was such a minor slip that I didn't think that it was.
You can give it some leeway for the prep time.
Yeah.
But that was and I should have said this when he was on the phone. That was the biggest thing when it came to both of them. And that's not taken away from them. I'm just saying my mind frame was that I had that in my mind where I was like, whatever happens during this battle, you have to give them a little leeway because I know that there was just so much going on, surrounding it. You know what I'm saying? And again, like I told him, that wasn't to take away from him or B Magic. I just think when you go back and you look at B Magic's balls in that first round, like it was such a quick little slip up that you know, he actually would have got back even more. Just that Murder started talking for him, and Murder started telling the crowd, he was like,
chill.
"Yo, chill," you know, yo, and then explaining the
sportsmanship.
situation,
The sportsmanship.
and it was great sportsmanship. But I thought Magic was gonna jump right back in. It just when Murder started talking, you know, which I thought that was dope for him to do. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still gonna go off of the material, and I thought any round that I thought that Magic won or anything was an edge. It was an edge, in my opinion.
Gotcha.
It wasn't like I wasn't saying, yo, that was clear. That was a edge for me. And that second round, like I said, was their best. And I just thought that it was the best on both their sides to the point I really couldn't come up with a winner for that round. And I kept going through and I was like, yo,
Well, I mean, I guess that's why it's good that that you're here because you watched it on the pay-per-view.
yeah.
So you got the chance to see it
We got
one way.
Yeah, exactly.
And when we're in the building, you know how it is being
Yeah,
in the building.
definitely.
You know, so it's great that we get both of those perspectives, man.
Yeah,
So
man.
anyone who didn't actually get a chance to see it, go cop the pay-per-view now. Go make the decision for yourself.
Definitely.
And I can't wait to see them
Yeah.
back on pay-per-view.
Well, at the end of the day, none of our opinions matter. They just,
Right, it's just, man. It's just.
No. It matters. But what I'm saying, like
There's a
overall,
decision.
you still
Right.
can't, like, for the hardcore people with their opinion, the people who go crazy with their opinion,
Right, right.
you can't do that.
Right.
They agreed to it being judged. It was judged. That's
But you
it.
know,
So,
it
you
still
know?
doesn't take anything away because it's still subjective. The only thing is,
Definitely.
one dude got some more bread,
Oh, yeah.
and that's that. You know, what I'm
no,
saying?
but there's an official window. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Like for them people who like, I could never sit there and I said it on the blog like yo, my opinion don't even matter
right.
because they agreed to judge. Officially, there is a win in that column, and that footage is gonna live forever. It's gonna outlive us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So anybody go back and see it, guess what? It's a win.
It's a win. A win's a
So
win.
if you one of the people whose your opinion is just so strong that nothing could budge it,
Mhm.
doesn't matter.
Word up.
The next battle on the card.
Loso versus Daylight.
Now, see, it was odd, right? Because when the match started, everybody kind of looked around like this shouldn't be happening so early. But Math wasn't in the building yet, so we had to just put a battle on and keep it going. And Loso and Daylight was a very interesting match.
I have to be honest though.
It wasn't a great match, but it was interesting.
Hell no. I'm very disappointed. But even more, what I'm saying is I'm happy that it happened before the Math and Ill Will.
Mhm.
From this standpoint, it was a lackluster battle in my opinion, but even more so is this. I thought it happened early enough that if they did come with the material that I expected, the crowd would have been fresh enough to catch the bars. That's number one.
That's true.
And that plays a good part in the judging system, right? And then the other thing was, if you're Math and Ill Will, you don't want your battle coming in that aspect where you're right before these guys and the crowd, like, oh, okay, now they're really not showing you the love because they're anticipating the Daylight and Loso. People at the bar, because that's one of the things. That's why, not to disrespect anybody, but it's just the truth. When I go to these big league battles, I do everything I can to buy a stage pass or VIP. I hate being in the crowd because most of the people in the crowd be having these conversations and stuff, side conversations.
They
because
talk in the midway
yeah.
through the
Yeah,
round.
That's what was happening in the last battle.
It happened a little
Shasta
bit, and it
Verb
kind of
battle.
affects your concentration
yo,
on the battle.
I hate it because my thing is, number one, I paid to be here, and I want to be here from the first battle to the last battle. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a big fight fan. I'm always at the Barclays Center for the fights.
Mhm.
I'm there for the first fight.
Damn.
I want my damn money's worth. I want to watch it all. But I love the sport, and it has my full undivided attention.
Right.
I'm not there paying attention to just that one battle. And I find it, especially in a small room, I find it disrespectful that you came here and, like, people don't understand how hard it is to get up there and spit these bars. You just heard what Murder had to say. All of y'all listening, you're hearing it yourself from him. How hard it is to do this, so on and so forth. The guts it take to get in front of everybody, and you gotta entertain all these people. And like, and you gonna disrespect and have this whole conversation about the weed you about to smoke when you get out of here. So get out of here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So get the hell out of here. So at the same time, like, okay, had Math and Will have gone first, the anticipation, at least from my perspective, like looking at Twitter and watching recaps and everything, it seemed like everyone was so locked in on this battle, they might not have shown Math and Ill Will the same respect as they end up doing.
Hey, man. Well, France, as we saw, Daylight came through. fancy outfit on. He had the
Well,
tuxedo
before
jacket.
before the battle started, there was a little discrepancy
about the
of
time and all
limits.
that.
And I'm still
Why
confused.
do we have discrepancies about
I'm still
time?
confused as to how this happens. Personally, I don't get
There are
it.
contracts made up, allegedly, supposedly, right?
This is a
That-
judge battle,
that-
so everything needs to
It's
be
a
equal.
judge battle. Why do we not know what the time is? Why are we discussing this now?
Right.
Because now you're gonna have one guy more comfortable. Now it's one more thing to think about.
Agreed.
In the midst of remembering all your bars and performing, now
the
you
reason
have
why
to think
Daylight
about
choked is
this.
because of the time limits, apparently. Because in his third round, he had a scheme that he wanted to use, but it's going to take too long, so he cut it out, trying to fast forward his round and probably messed up his concentration. But we'll get to the third round. The first round,
Talk about it.
Loso off the gate wasn't explosive, but consistent. Like, you know, he had a haymaker here. Maybe the next one was a little dry, but he came back. He came right back. It was a consistent, solid round. Solid rounds are beatable.
Absolutely. I remember I was telling you at the end of his first round, he left the door open.
He left the door open.
It wasn't anything spectacular he was spitting. So I'm like, oh, he's leaving the door open for Daylight. And Daylight is spitting the top ramen, noodles,
the
new
fight,
dude.
I want the fight, man.
Daylight showed how great he is at breaking down words and subjects and topics.
You thought that was great?
No. I'm saying, like, he's trying to show his skill set in breaking that down, but that's not battling.
I don't even think he was doing that, bruh. Like
He kept.
He was
want
saying
me
the
to keep
most
it going?
ridiculous.
Want me to keep it going?
But it wasn't. It was ridiculous, bruh. It was like
At one point,
it
the
was-
crowd was like, "Nah, we don't want you to keep it."
it was
going.
mad simple. It was overused bars that we heard already, and I'm like, why is Daylight playing with us? Like, what? Why is he doing
Right.
this? Like, what? You know what I mean? Like, you're too good for this.
Right.
And it's like, you know, from his costume, I'm thinking we might get the Daylight that battle be magic. That's what I was hoping. I was hoping we get a nice little twist of the antics, right?
Little
With
entertainment
a
value.
little entertainment value
Mhm.
with a lot of bars, even if it's going over my head. Just give me some bars.
His
You know
first
what I
round
mean?
wasn't horrible though.
It wasn't horrible, but it was simple. Like how Murder was saying, you don't want to dumb it down, you don't want to overcomplicate it. I felt like Daylight was oversimplifying it for us, and I'm like, yo, how many? Like, come on, man! Like the
Right.
bars were too simple.
Right.
And then I felt insulted by the top ramen noodles bars, man. Like it was like it was child's play almost. You know what I'm saying? And I'm
Right.
like,
I'm so
he's
happy
playing
you said
games,
that.
man. He's playing
'cause
games.
now, see, I'm not the only one who felt that way.
Right.
First off, I just disagree with you guys about the Loso side of things. I actually thought that this was a little bit beyond a solid round, right? I don't think this was a great round. I thought it was just a little bit above a solid round. I thought that was his best round of the battle, from Loso.
I think so too.
And when it came to Daylight, it was a 50-50 round. All that ramen noodle, all that. I
It
wanted
was
to,
half plain and then he got half good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that, see, here's my thing with this. This is a judged battle with extra money or whatever was
Right.
the agreement on the line.
Why is he playing games?
And this is what pisses me off about Daylight, because Daylight could damn near be unbeatable, right? And there's the stuff he chooses to do. And then what made this even more frustrating to me is it made me think back to that whole Rex battle on the Total Slaughter.
Mm-hmm.
It made me think back to the past state battle. Here are huge opportunities, and I'm not saying this was that. I'm just saying that something was on the line, right? But overall, these are opportunities for you to actually gain something, and this is what you choose to do. And it just pisses me off because when that dude, listen, I was right there, literally right there with him and Ill Will. That battle was just ridiculous.
Right.
They went crazy. Like, we should expect that from you, man. And for you to go against Loso, who you asked for,
Talk
and
about
sit there and you did that, to me, I was like, well, maybe he's trying to disrespect Loso. Like trying to say, yo, I could play around and still beat you. You know what I'm saying? But it was a 50-50 round, half noodles and Chinese food and all this silly shit. And then the other
the
half
chrome
was,
packet.
yeah, and then, yo.
Come on, bro.
But the rest of it, though, he really can't. And then I thought, you know what? I think he might have purposely did that. Like, yo, I'm gonna show you I can play with you and still win. And no.
Were you shocked that some people online had Daylight winning the first round?
I was very shocked. I was very
There's
shocked.
a lot of people that feel that he
A
won
lot of
first.
people. A lot of people.
So it's not like it's a
Listen, man. Like they say, opinions.
No,
are
no,
like,
I understand that. But
opinions are like
the-
assholes, and they all stink.
but
You
the-
know what I'm saying?
But the reason why I'm bringing that up is because the judges didn't make the decision off the first round. They made it off the third round because they thought the first two rounds were so close.
I thought the second round was absolute tie.
Yeah.
And guess what? I thought it was horrible on both ends. I thought
the
Loso was
second round
horrible.
wasn't horrible.
You don't think so? I thought it was
No.
horrible, man.
I thought Loso's second round was pretty good. He ended it strong with the G flat bar.
It was,
And then- and
yeah,
then-
that was
and-
pretty
and-
dope.
and-
That was
and-
pretty dope.
And Daylight was heating up, and then he just ended it, and it was like, okay, this is an edge to Daylight second round.
Well, what's funny is I saw I watched a bunch of interviews after the battles, and Loso was talking. I want to say it was 15 Minutes of Fame. If I got it wrong, I apologize.
Or Hip Hop is Real, one of the two.
One of those two. And Loso was just saying like, yo, I had a show to do, I had this to do, that to do. So trying to squeeze in all the material while I got all this stuff going on, I couldn't really go as crazy as I wanted to. And that's the feeling that I got from this battle.
Okay.
It's like, yo,
That's
this is
fair.
all right.
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's nothing that's bad. It shows that you a good quality MC, but this is not the next level. This is not even like your show off material.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
See, but you
Right.
saying
But
that
was fire material.
All right, with you saying that, not only do I agree with you, but let me reword what I said. I said it was horrible, right? But you got to understand something. When you set a certain standard, that's what we got to hold you by. No matter who you are, that's what I got to hold you
So
by.
you're saying it's not horrible, it's just horrible for the high bar that he has.
That's what. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I said. I'm gonna reword it. I shouldn't have said it like that. What I should have said was in comparison.
Okay,
You know
that's
what I'm
better.
saying?
Yeah,
In
yeah.
comparison.
Because I think Loso would agree himself that this isn't a performance he's a fan of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
like-
apologize. I shouldn't have said it like that. But yeah. But for both of them though.
Yeah,
For both of them. Though.
for what this battle was supposed to be, it wasn't that.
A
Because
lot
not
of-
for nothing. Because
Mhm.
remember when we were doing our predictions, that I'm talking crazy already. when we were doing our predictions,
Mhm.
I predicted Loso was probably gonna win Battler of the Night. I thought like, yo, here's an opportunity to really take things up to another level with a guy who likes to put on theatrics. You know what I mean? So I thought, wow, we're gonna get and Daylight wanting
Yo,
him.
wow,
I
that's
thought
so-
we were gonna get a crazy
that was dope what
battle.
you just said. I didn't
Yeah.
even think of it that way. That was
You know
dope
what I'm
what you
saying?
just said.
I thought we was gonna get a crazy battle, and
Mm-hmm.
I was let down. And then Daylight choked in the third,
That's
or,
good, that's
or
good.
stopped in the however the narrative wants to be.
He choked
And
twice.
He
in that
choked
third.
twice. He played it off really good the first time. Like
Yeah.
the
'Cause
crowd didn't even buy it.
Because that's
Yeah,
what he
but-
does.
but-
You know what I
'cause he's a
mean? That's what he
character.
Character,
does.
so
you
he's
know?
He
character.
has to take advantage of that in the
Absolutely.
future. But for me, all of Loso's battles, I've noticed he loses the second round always. Like even against Show Off.
You got to sacrifice.
Yeah,
man.
he has a problem with continuing to hold his momentum. Like in the first round, he always, for the most part, wins the first round. Starts off strong.
Mhm.
Second round, he has a problem with holding it. So like I seen that, I was like, all right, this is typical Loso. Like he has problem staying consistent in the second round. And I got to be honest, he won the battle,
Mhm.
but he definitely dodged the bullet by Daylight choking.
Absolutely, because if Daylight decided that he really wanted to come to play, right,
Right.
this battle was totally open for him to take it.
Absolutely.
You know, but in true Daylight fashion, the loser doesn't have to jump. So
Yeah.
he
So,
ain't tripping.
Yeah.
What do you think of
He's not tripping.
What do you think of the
You know what I'm saying?
judges? What do you think of the judges saying the first two rounds are too close for us to pick somebody? So we're gonna go by the largest margin of the third round.
Yeah, I thought that was kinda
I thought it
crazy.
was bogus.
I thought that
I
was.
thought that was
crazy.
absolutely bogus. You
Take
know
no
what I'm
rounds
saying?
off, man.
Listen,
You can't.
absolutely bogus. Well, but first I want to say I'm gonna start paying attention to what you just said as far as Loso's second rounds.
Mm-hmm.
I've never noticed that.
Yeah.
You just pointed that out. I'm gonna be more aware of that. So thank you for pointing that out. But overall, I thought that shit was bogus, man.
So what? You didn't like the fact that like this was the largest margin, so we're gonna pick by the only clear round.
I didn't think it
No.
needed to be like that. I thought it was evident.
I thought it was clear.
I thought it was like. Okay.
I mean, they got the decision right, but I guess the way
Yeah,
they
it was like,
manufactured it.
yo,
No,
but that lets.
that's always the part that's frustrating. Even what makes it more frustrating. And I was telling Big Al was with me at the time, and we both was just trying to understand like what the hell are they talking about with this judging, and then ARP ain't making no easier getting them from one section to bring them to another section. That took time.
It was a
especially
little
sitting
confusing
there
at
watching
first.
all of
You know
that.
what I'm saying? It was a
And
little
like-
confusing.
It
and
was
I'm
a trial
so-
run. You
It
know?
was a trial run.
Yeah,
It was a trial
but
run.
I'm sitting home watching this, and I went into event mode, and I'm like, yo, I'd have been pissed off standing there with all this nonsense going on. You know what I'm saying? What is there to talk about?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What is there to talk about? And I saw a lot of Daylight fans saying they thought he won, but I know some hardcore Daylight fans who was on Twitter saying the same thing. What the hell are we debating here?
Yeah, I didn't think it needed to get down to that one round.
I guess
thought
the
it
one
was
thing
clear
I guess the
enough.
one thing I did like is just how you literally cannot give up a round.
And but you know what, I will say this: lets you know that, hey, this thing is still very subjective.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, as clear as we thought it was.
Because it's almost like
And it still leaves
Right.
that wiggle room for us to
Because
go, I don't know. That one ain't right. We
'cause
still going to argue
somebody,
this one.
somebody
you know
could
what
have edged Daylight 1 and 2,
I mean? Right?
but Loso gets round 3 clear, and they're gonna give the battle to Loso. But you know what? Daylight said himself he likes the judging system.
But I go by that, though.
He said he's not against the decision, so he's okay with how it turned out.
I go by total points and momentum to close out.
Mm.
Like, if it's a situation where you've been doing all right, you've been doing okay, and then the other guy just keeps descending and you close out like a killer, like, I'm more prone to give it to you. But if it's super close, now we breaking it down. You know what I'm saying? Like, to the nitty gritty and whatnot. So it all depends on how the vibe of the battle for me.
Before we go on to the next battle, I think
Sir.
Loso was due for a bad performance. We can admit that because he's had a lot of. This is his 13th battle, and out of his 13 battles, he's probably only lost maybe 2, debatably, right? And he's had solid performances all the time.
Definitely.
He was due for a bad battle.
Yeah, definitely. And I still don't think it was that.
It wasn't even bad. It was just.
No, it's,
I'm not
again,
writing home
it's-
about it. That's
again,
what it is. I'm
but
not writing
again,
home
it's
about
the
it.
bar he set though.
Yeah, it's bad for his standard. There we go.
That-
Let me
for
clarify
what
that.
He's coming right off back onto the same stage right off of that show off battle. Because if you're looking at
And
the
the
last
Jay Murder battle.
right, you know what I mean. So if you
Mhm.
busting these dudes' ass, pause, and now you're battling this dude, I'm expecting that or better. But you know, c'est la vie, life goes on.
Yeah,
Next
man.
time he comes back to fight another battle, but he still got the victory though.
He'll be back at Mass, and I'm sure he's gonna take everything he learned now and apply it over there.
And I'm excited for it.
Yeah, we'll be there. You'll be there for
I'll
Mass.
be there.
Oh,
That's
snap,
dope. You guys will be there.
Yeah,
Hell
We gonna
yeah.
be the
Come
whole
on, bro.
union gonna be in the building.
Oh, that's what's
Listen,
up.
man, that's
Um,
our job, man.
We're gonna have quite a few people in the building with us, man.
That's our
We
job,
got the
my
road
brother.
trip popping, man.
Oh snap! Looking forward to it.
So, I guess the next match I got in this order, I had Pat Stay and Averb next because I wanted to
First
really
off, shout out to you for the packet. we out here with the stat packet.
Real
Shout
quick,
out to you.
listen,
real
man.
quick, I want to shout out Battle Rap Stats. He couldn't call in,
Yes.
but we're using his scoring card.
Oh, okay.
And I feel like after these events, all the judges' scoring cards should be out. So we
Absolutely.
can. You feel me?
That's
we need to
dope.
break
I
them
think
down. We
it's-
need
I
that
think it's out there, but I have to
transparency, man.
search it.
Hold on. I think that's dope, but what make that even better, what you just said, it saves us. And people standing in the event from wasting time standing there while you decide to give us all this information that's just pointless. Like when they started coming with some of the stuff, I thought was just over the top. Yo, tell me who won. If you want to tell me who won round, fine. But some of it was just over the top. You know what I'm saying? But this right here, salute to Battle Rap Stats. This is dope.
Yeah, shout out to him.
And then this also makes you brainstorm a little bit more about what you thought about rounds.
Battle Rap Stats, we're putting you on the spot because we're judging your scorecard. So if we have if we have any discrepancies with any of the scores, that's on you.
Oh yeah, like round 2.
Yeah, like or like Jay Murder getting around a 6 in round 1. Like
Right,
that was
right,
kind of crazy.
Oh, so wait a minute, hold on, because I want to be 100% clear. So Battle Rap Stats, this is 100% his. This
This is his card. This is his scorecard.
So this isn't him writing down what they had. This is just
this is his scorecard.
Oh yeah, I got a few issues with it.
And if you take a look on the next
Yeah,
side,
it was a
you'll see,
breakdown. It's a
Yeah, because he's
breakdown.
got
That's
this
the
thing
retina
called
display.
the retina test and whatnot, and that breaks it down into like different categories.
Next
Yeah,
time I
this
get a
shit is
chance
too
to speak with him, I
confusing,
want
but
him to
respect that.
I want him to break
Absolutely.
that down.
No, it's official, man. Like the breakdowns on
Yeah.
this, like, because that's how, you go by like what you see, pretty much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then you break it down to different, and you give each guy their own attribute for it. Like
Definitely.
it's pretty. It's an organic way for me to judge battles. But
I agree.
let's go, my brother. Let's break it down. Pat
So-
Stay versus Averb.
No, we on math, right?
Yeah, well, I think I want to jump to this one
okay, I'm
because
sorry, I'm
I want
sorry.
to jump to Pat Stay and
sorry.
Aver first because Math and Ill Will has so much to talk about.
Okay.
Word.
and Pat Stay and
Actually,
Aver,
this has a lot to talk about too.
yeah, they both do. So we'll get it rolling. We already got this up. Pat Stay and Averb, the main event. Did the main event live up to the hype, guys? I think on Pat Stay's side it did.
Pat Stay
Yeah.
delivered.
Pat Stay delivered. I have no complaints.
Pat Stay delivered.
I'm 50-50 on it, right? And I'm not talking about past. I'm talking about the overall battle.
And why's
in
that?
terms because I expected a bit more. Listen, all this vegan verb, all this dumb shit. I don't know what that has done to his aggression.
Did you have him beating Twerk?
First, I don't even like using an NJT. Right?
New Jersey Twerk.
Yeah, NJT, right?
Did you have him beating New Jersey Twerk?
Yes.
Did you have him beating B Dot? So what's wrong
yes,
with
Edge.
Vegan Verb? He's won his couple battles.
No. These are first off, these are edges, right? Everybody we just mentioned.
When's the win though?
No, I'm not saying it isn't, but here's the point. I'm paying attention to the bars and all of that, right? But my favorite battles from Verb had some intensity. You know what I'm saying?
Got
so
you.
again, it goes back to what I was saying about Loso. When you set a certain bar, right, we still got to go off that. You know what I mean? So while he might have a little more intricate bars, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that I don't want to see, especially with Past Day. You got to understand something. Past Day came out in that first round doing what I expected. He punched Verb in the mouth. He straight up punched
People
him in the
didn't
mouth.
expect that.
You know, I expected that because
Came out
I know when he's, you know, especially when you go back to a math battle or a head ice, which is one of my favorites. Head ice versus Past Day is one of my favorite battles.
Classic.
And what he did first round, he tried to punch Head Ice in the mouth.
Clean.
You know what I'm saying? And so at the end of the day, when it came to Verb, the way I was looking at it was, hey, you know what? That's cool if you're gonna hit us with all this intricate bars. That's fine. Give us a little more aggression here and there. I'm not asking for a whole round in your face, spitting on somebody. I'm not talking about all that. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about snarling. But give us a little more, not this backing up when you rapping, you twirling your fingers and shit. Like I'm like, man.
Let me play devil's advocate.
So did you think it was low key, Kaka?
Yes.
Let me play devil's advocate. Ask both of you guys a question because that was a good one. That was a good one. B. So you mentioned, Jay, that like, all right, we set a standard in the bar for the artist, but does that same standard in bar, does it trap them to like be the same person consistently so they can't reinvent themselves?
No, not at all. Not at all. No. But whether people say it or word it the way I'm wording it or not, you still mentally have that in your mind. This is what we used to seeing, or this is what I like when it's right, because we talking about it being judged or us giving us our opinions. You always, every person, you're pointing out what you like. We just had Jay Murder on the phone. I like Jay Murder's aggression. In the Loso battle, we saw him go a little too far.
Right.
And there's been other battles, but more of the story, I like Jay Murder's aggression. And I like, in this battle too, we saw him mix up the aggression with the bars. We've seen that countless times from A-Verb. Countless times from A-Verb. So it's like, this is what I want. Am I always going to get that? No. But for you to be twirling fingers while moving backwards with bars.
Okay, but let's not dispute that there is lyricism behind it. Then there's he's rap. He does rap. He goes.
Yes, but it seems like there's no
layered.
feeling behind it. You
it's
understand?
layered.
I'm gonna.
It is, but I don't feel that same. And then you again, what I'm saying, you're going against Past Day, and Past Day's coming onto another platform. You don't think he was looking to make a statement to begin with? Verb's too smart. You got to know that.
But Verb is really. It takes skill to set up these long 8-10 bar setups where you're being lyrical, where you're being creative, where you have multis, where you're keeping the same vowel rhyming pattern, and it's hot and it keeps on going, and there's a haymaker somewhere in the mix of it all. That is difficult.
Well, I'm gonna compare his twerk battle to this battle.
NJT. Or say the whole name. You just can't.
His New Jersey twerk battle, right?
Thank you, sir.
Comparing that battle to this battle, I felt in that battle he had bars within the multis. I felt in this battle the bars were a little lackluster within the multis. So as like my man Jay say, he's doing the backing up and the finger twirling. But when you not hitting me with the bars in there, it's like, yo, this is it's kind of empty.
I can make an argument.
You know what I mean?
I can make an argument from B Dot to New Jersey Twerk to now. This is his most aggressive performance. He slammed his hat. He slammed his hat.
I mean,
he slammed his hat twice.
Yo,
see, it was aggressive, but the bars weren't as impactful.
Hold on, that was that
what I mean?
one section though, and like you just said, there was no impact to the bar. So I seen when he slammed the hat, and when he did that, I'm thinking, Past Day, you in trouble now.
But
no,
the building ate it. The building ate it
But
up.
I'm also thinking he's doing that to compensate for the lack of the bars. Because we haven't seen him get all crazy like that, take his hat off, shake his dreads, and do all that.
He's gonna
you
rap.
know, it's like when somebody want to put on a show.
He's gonna wrap circles around Pat.
You know, it's like when somebody want to put on a show like they more than they are, so they're like, yo, what you talking about? What you talking about? And you're like, yo, my man, relax, B. It's like, but when you know somebody knows how they're handling themselves, they don't need to do all that. So if you come in, if you're not coming with the bars, what else you gonna do? sell your performance as much as you can.
And he's smart enough to know that he has to do that.
He pulled a wildly veteran move right there.
And he always does. Verb always do. Verb sometimes even talks people into thinking they hate him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like stop
plays
with all
Jedi
that shit,
mind
man.
tricks,
No,
man.
he definitely do. But let me tell you something. That first round, it ain't even up for debate. Pat Stay came out and punched A-Verb in the mouth.
Easy.
I expected A-Verb to come back with something.
Do you think it was a
more,
clear
and
win
that
for
didn't
Pat? That
happen.
was Verb's best round of the battle.
That was a clear win.
Clear win.
No,
Clear
this
win.
from that round, the first round.
Yes. I don't
They-
honestly
Indubitably,
speaking,
brother.
Listen, I'm seeing,
Indubitably.
looking at this 10-9 round, right? Battle rap stats, salute to you, sir. But what the hell, man? 'Cause I just
Yeah,
don't,
man.
I really don't. I don't see that. I honestly and truly do not see that.
I didn't
Listen, by
see
the
Verb getting a
by the
nine.
metrics they have, doesn't let that round as clear as we're making it seem. We're making it seem. I think Pat Stay won the round 2.
I mean, yo, I'm just going from the in the building feel.
Right.
Pat Stay came out punching.
When-
He was sharp from the
He
beginning
showed.
to the
He
end.
showed why he's a
Everything.
headliner. He
Yeah,
showed us
yeah,
why he's a
everything.
headliner.
I hated the construction worker outfit. I really hated it. He really
He
looked
looked
like
swaggy in person though. He looked that in
no,
person.
my man, listen, all that stuff he had on, he literally looked like he just clocked out. You know what I'm saying? Looked like he had a helmet somewhere, by his
man.
water bottle. You know what I'm saying? He had a hard hat down there, and I'm like, when I seen that, I said, what the hell, man?
What about Verb though? Verb had the hoodie with the shorts on.
Yeah, but I mean,
You don't know if
that's
he's cold. You don't know if he's
yeah,
hot.
definitely. But let me tell you something. If I was in the building, Pat Stay walked past me. Besides his height, I would have just thought he was there to watch the battle.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No, he said he
Hilarious.
blended with a security guard. So that was
yeah, that was funny. That was.
So
Yo, but back to the bars of performance though.
Mhm.
That was a clean pat.
Yeah.
That was a sharp pat because you
that's
know.
one of the better pats we've seen in a while.
Yo, and like I was happy to be in the building for that. Was that his first time in New York?
Yeah, because the
That's
other
his
one
first-
was UW in Jersey.
Right,
so.
Jersey. Right. So his first time in New
New
York,
York.
comes on stage, gives us a damn near masterful performance, man.
Yes.
He controlled that crowd
Yes.
effortlessly,
Yeah,
man.
Can,
Like,
can I
he-
say he didn't sacrifice his style in the second round?
Not at all.
I love that. He said,
my
you know what? He said,
gosh.
you guys know me for the jokes, and I know I'm gonna come to a place where they want to hear bars and punches,
Son, I was in
but I'm still gonna
tears.
make these jokes land.
I
And,
was in tears,
and every
man.
single one just kept
Yo.
building up and building up and building up.
Yo.
Like there was no corny jokes.
No
in the
corny
midst.
joke.
Listen, but even more from all of that, and this is what I say to people, right? One of my favorites, and thank God I was there to witness it in person, was JC versus Ilmac. One of my favorite
I was
battles.
there, dope.
Yeah, and you know, that was such a awesome. I was so happy I was there, right? Ilmac didn't have to sacrifice who he was, right?
Right.
And this is what I tell people, because people were trying to say, oh, you know, the New York crowd, no, get out of here with that shit. Like,
They're MCs. They
like-
can adapt.
yeah, and even more though is you gotta know something. RBE, when it comes to RBE, there's been so many different. Listen, I love RBE because of the matchups they create.
Mhm.
Right, I think they really put thought into the matchup creations. They're not just taking two names and throwing them, right? So at the end of the day, what it just boiled down to, I think that there's so many different styles that have come through that building. Different fans come for different reasons, and like I said, I've had to open up to speaking to people that I never would.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when you start, it's such a diverse crowd. These are people who, to me, are similar to myself, where I don't care about a league. I'm not a fan of a league.
Mhm.
I'm a fan of the battles, the competition. I'm a fan of the matchups. So RBE crowds seem to most of the time be like-minded people who they love battle rap and have their favorites, no doubt, but they're not so blind to everything. Like they're open to more styles and more things. So when I saw, first off, I thought it took so much guts for him to do what he did in that second round. For you to, you know, that's such a hit or miss. Because this isn't King of the Dot. That's a King of the Dot
What do you
style.
guys think of those people that hate bars over jokes? Bars over. I hate that because
I think it's bars
I-
over everything, to be honest.
But the thing is, Pat Stay's bars are jokes. Pat Stay's jokes are
Listen,
bars.
I got one rule.
Yeah.
If it lands, it lands.
I agree.
That's my thing. I don't
I
care
agree.
if you have 100 jokes, but they are so funny that every joke has me in tears every single time versus a lyrical miracle guy who cannot move me for anything, I'm going with the joke guy.
Such a power of humor.
If there's a lyrical
Yes.
miracle guy who can work wizardry with the words so hard that the funniest dude just doesn't move me at all, then the lyrical miracle
Yeah.
wins. It's all
Yeah.
about who moves me
Yeah.
the most with their own personal
I agree,
attributes,
but
you know what I mean?
I'm a bars over everything kind of guy, right? But that's I'm more with what you said, where in this case that don't apply
right.
because not only was it consistent, not only was it good, you know what I'm saying? it was also him being him. This wasn't something that he just did out of nowhere.
Exactly.
If you watch his battles, it's
He
something
does it all the time. He does it all the
the
time.
time.
Yeah, and I also thought that's why people were a little more receptive to it. You know what I'm saying? But even more so was the point. It was consistent.
Right.
And then it wasn't just one topic. He switched to like 2 or 3 topics.
And
He stood on that one topic the
And he
whole
got
time.
back. And he got back to the bars in a
And
second.
then he also landed it with that super bar that kind of like, you know when some bars land and it makes you go, damn. Like when he said, Verb, you told that girl she should sell pussy like a real woman.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you go tell your daughter that?
Yeah, I didn't
Like,
like
yo,
that. But
that
it was
hit-
crazy. But I don't like that.
I liked it because you know what? It spoke to Verb's character as a man.
You know
And in
what?
battle rap,
Listen,
that's what you try to make someone look
Right.
at the other guy differently.
Of course.
So when
So-
you're going, damn, son, like imagine he really told, like it makes you think, like, yo, would Verb actually tell his daughter that?
I wanna
If she was
piggyback
flat
off
on her
that.
back. You feel me?
I want to piggyback off that because Pat Stay made a lot of eye contact. He was direct. And he does this all the time where he tries to have a certain part of his round or a whole round where he kind of angles and gets
Tries to
direct.
talk to
He
you.
gets direct to his opponent. He doesn't care if it doesn't hit. He just cares if it hurts.
Right.
And Verb got upset.
Yeah.
I would have got upset.
No,
Yeah.
Verb got upset,
I
and
would've
Pat
got
Stay
upset.
realized he got hit. And Pat Stay said it. He said, "Look, he's upset. He's tight. He's angry.
Yeah.
And
He's mad right now.
He's mad right now."
But
So Pat Stay got under his skin.
He did, man. Wonderful job.
yeah, I have an issue with that, and I think that if I'm not mistaken, I think Pat Stay continued that into his 3rd round.
Yeah.
I don't like. I'm just one of them people. Like I don't like when guys
Bring up the
start
kids.
attacking people's kids. Now when you generalize,
But that was you felt that was too personal? Because I thought it was
I
like
wasn't feeling.
I thought it was a
let me
little
say,
general.
Let me say this. I'm including how it continued into the next round.
Okay.
When he said that part, I was like, damn. But it did hit.
Mm-hmm.
It did hit, and I gave him a point for that. You know what I'm saying? It did hit. But as he continued into his 3rd round, that's when I felt the way. You know what I'm saying? And maybe it's the father in me. I don't
feel
know
you.
what it is. But for me, in battle rap, people say, oh, there are no limits. You know what I'm saying? To me, there should be limits. Certain things I'm not cool
So
with.
you don't like Arsenal at all?
At all. At all. But not just for those reasons. Arsenal is majority filler. Straight up. So at the end of the day, it's just my thing. I don't like the people talking about dead people if it's factual.
Mm-hmm.
If it's factual. Like generalizing it, it is what it is. But when that's factual, like I have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? And I have a problem when people say things about kids when it isn't general. Like later on in that 3rd, when Pat Stay started saying things when it came to Verb's kids, I didn't like that one bit. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that it didn't cloud my judgment so much that I didn't thought he lost a round. I'm just saying I wasn't
Shout out to
feeling that
Pat
shit.
Stay for assessing the crowd when he started like that little angle of being white privilege, and everybody's like, "No," and he goes, "Oh, I'm out of it." He got right out of it.
Nobody trying to hear all that,
you
man.
can you can tell like he didn't finish it and he got out of that
Nobody
angle. He
trying
said,
to
"All
hear
right, let me
all
get
that.
out of it." At least he secured the rest of the round.
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah, but and another thing though, because there's a flip side to that coin. I don't like Verb and anybody else talking that race stuff.
I don't like
Yo,
that. Yeah,
I'm
that angle didn't work for me
beyond tired.
either.
I'm
Thank you.
beyond tired of that.
I'm glad you brought that back around because we're gonna swing back around to this 3rd round, right? Was that the 3rd round when Verb went on the whole?
Second.
That was the 2nd round. Verb
Right.
went on the race angle. Now,
Told a bullshit story or whatever. the
not
hell
only
was.
that, we all know Pat Stay's from Nova Scotia, Canada. Verb is talking like this guy's from Kansas or somewhere down south with the hillbilly accent. And I'm like, bruh, this doesn't even apply to his life.
Not at all.
You're wasting this whole round. Like, it's one thing if you're talking to a dude from Grind Time, Florida or something like that. Maybe you can get away with those bars, but I'm like, this has nothing to do with him. This was lazy writing.
Yeah.
This was
E-
just
even
totally
more, though,
lazy. Lazy.
Haven't we seen that whenever Verb battles a white person? We've seen that on
Yeah.
King of the Dot multiple times. So my
Yeah.
thing to him is like, yo, I hate it
Verb-
across battle rap.
Are white guys Verb's kryptonite? He doesn't beat. No, he hasn't. He didn't beat
Yeah,
Caustic. Didn't beat
Sharon
Ilmac.
beat
Didn't
him,
beat
and I don't like
Sharon.
Not at all.
Sharon beat him, and I don't like
And this
Sharon.
was for money.
It's
And
the
this
se-
was for money.
and this is the second time losing for money on that stage.
Yeah, but you
Exactly.
know what though? That's the point. That has to be the theme, which was the theme for this event. But in people's mind, when you talking about this and we're judging it, that's what was on my mind the whole time. This is for money. This is a judge battle and for money. Like don't play like that. And even if, of course, I don't get none of the money whoever wins, of course, but. For my thing, it's also the competitor in me that's just like, no, push
Yeah.
harder. Like, yo, like this is for something, my man. This is
For
for
the
it
bread-
all. Like, what the hell?
exactly. For the bread on the line, I ain't think he came with enough.
This definitely hurts his legacy, in my opinion.
And now also in that third, we get Pat Stay alluding to that
Murder Mook.
Verb has Mook.
And if you
right?
notice, Verb took a shot at Mook in his third.
He took a shot at Mook, and I was looking at ARP's grill when
that happened.
when
Pat
my man
Stay
Pat
said
Stay
it.
dropped them
Yes,
bars,
thank
and
you. Thank
he
you.
started grinding his teeth and looking around. Now nothing's been confirmed.
Listen, nothing's been confirmed.
We don't
but
know.
But if you hear every single interview of somebody like asking, like Hip Hop is Real will ask an artist,
Yeah.
what do you think of Mook's return? And they'll have their little stipulations.
Mhm.
Ill Will kind of had a big hint. He was like, "Yeah, I know who he has, and it sounded like a good battle." He's like, I could definitely be his opponent. I could be his opponent now and his old self." I'm like,
Damn.
oh, so that's also more pieces together. Surf also mentioned that it's Verb.
Yep.
So like, let's speculate that it is Verb. How do you feel about that match as of right now? I'm really disappointed in it.
I have to tell you the truth, man. If I'm going off what's in front of me right now, I ain't happy about it. But I don't care because I don't think that honestly, this whole thing, the excitement about this, and this is what Mook does, is the point that you rarely ever see him battle. Other than that, tell me them against Lux and Iron Solomon, he didn't have a good battle. Get the hell out of here with all of that. So I look at it like, yo, you know what? Can Verb beat Mook? If I'm going off the Mook, I've seen yes. If I'm going off the Verb, I've seen he could be beat. So at the same time, I'm not excited about it in general.
Mook handcrafts his opponents, man. And
yeah, but how much are you gonna do against Verb? Because here's the thing: Verb does the same thing. It's just, I hate to say it, and it gets under my skin to even think about it. And Verb said it in the battle. If I'm not mistaken. He said, "Yo, is when I care." Am I wrong? Didn't he say that in one of them rounds? He said something like that. Like, when I care, was that him who said that?
He might have said that.
I think Math said that.
Was it
Oh, that
Math?
was. I'm sorry. I apologize. You're right. That was Math who said that.
Right.
Yeah.
Now-
Oh yeah. Yes. I'm sorry. I apologize. That was Math who said
I'm
that.
not gonna lie to you. We were in the building. ARP announced limited tickets going on sale. Boom! I clicked it.
We got.
I know we got to be in the building.
I didn't buy. I'm in the air about it, and this is why. Number one, I seen my first intentions was, me and Big Al, we were saying it. Yo, like either way we're gonna go, right? But I wanted to be on the stage. I seen it was $300. I'm like, I don't think I want to pay, but I haven't seen the rest of the card, so that's why I'm holding off on which one I'm gonna get, right? Then I seen there was no VIP, so I'm assuming there's nothing drawn. What I didn't like about the announcement is there was no announcement. You didn't tell me who he's battling. You ain't tell me a date. You ain't tell me a location.
The day was my issue. The day was my only issue.
Now it's floating in the air and people got real lives.
Exactly. So you
never
didn't do any of
know.
that. How am I purchasing this ticket? How do I know that this is worth what I really want with what I'm about to pay? Because the whole thing is, am I willing to do it as a fan? Yes, I am. Am I willing to do it because it's Mook? No, because that has nothing to do with how I see it. And if I'm getting a Mook and Verb, that's not no.
But you know what?
That's not motivation to
The
do it.
ticket's sold out.
Yeah.
No, he's doing. He just posted some on Instagram. I was just looking at it before I met you
I
outside.
think he's doing like little spurts.
No,
of it
yeah,
and
he
whatnot.
No, the
explains
little
it.
spurts that he's
Yeah.
done so far, they
They've
sold
all-
out.
yeah.
The little limited
so
sales.
what he's doing today is he said later on this evening at the live stream, the VOD, the video on
Those
demand should
people
be
will
up.
get a chance to.
He said then he'll put the link in there too for everybody to be able to purchase. I'm gonna go one more time over the conversation with my guys just to see what the plan is, whether we're gonna go or not. A piece of me just tells me, yo, I should just buy the pay-per-view. That's honestly how I'm feeling because there's limited information right now. You know what I'm saying? And if we look at the last few RB events, by the second or third announcement, everything that I like, the VIP or the stage is already sold out. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like you're not even giving me a date. You're not even giving me an opponent. Where's the motivation for me to drop $300 when there's so much in the air? You know what I mean?
feel you,
But
my
watching this Verb and all of this against a Pat Stay, to be honest, Pat is no slouch. His style is just different. And at the end of the day, not only did he lose, he didn't give me any motivation to want to see him.
Before we leave off to Mook, I will say one thing. I did notice when he came into the building, he went around the whole building, spoke to, Mook went around the whole building, spoke to fans, shook our
He was
hands.
not a diva at all.
No, not at all.
At all.
Like
Yeah,
he,
this
at
time
all.
around, I've never seen him, but I've heard people tell me at URL events there's been some divas.
I've seen a mix. Like when I've gone to events, he's shown love, and I could appreciate that. You know,
I mean, from my first time interacting with him,
And
he was just super humble.
if he has a
super
battle
cool.
coming up, he has no choice but to
No,
kind
no.
of get active again in the community.
So that's what I was about to say, that changes everything. But here's the thing, which we got to remember, and I also remember all the time. First of all, I barely ever talk to these dudes. There's some that I do talk to who know me, I know them. But the point is that we still don't know what somebody's day is like. We don't know what just happened to somebody, all of that. So somebody isn't always out. Sometimes
In the mood to
personalities, you know what I'm
do
saying?
all that.
Some guys have said it before. They were like, yo, I got to get used to this. I got to get used to people just walking up on me.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've had to get used to that. And I'm nobody in this community. Like, just people coming up wanting to talk battle rap. I had to get used to that. So I can't even imagine for them where it's constant. Like you can't get from the ticket line, you can't get from there to the stage without at least 10 or 15 people wanting a picture, autograph, so on and so forth. And it's like you gotta find a way. Now, when you get a check that I'm pretty sure he's getting, my man, shake hands, kiss babies.
Gotta do what you gotta do, man.
The match isn't confirmed, but if it's Verb, I'm just disappointed because Verb's a legend, but he's on the decline, and there's so much better matches out there.
And, I mean, if it is Verb, I'm gonna talk to myself and say self. I'm hoping they both will take this as a one-off setting and realize the magnitude of this battle, right? And we're gonna get a Verb like we haven't gotten before, right? This is what I'm hoping. From what I've been seeing,
Verb and Mook has history.
From last
Right.
night's battle, it was kind of like it didn't sell me. If he's gonna battle him from last night's battle, no, it didn't make me more excited to see it. But if it is the battle that's going down, I'm hoping Verb will realize the magnitude of it. I'm not really worried about Mook. You know what I'm saying? People are coming to see him. He's gonna do his thing one way or the other. It's gonna be exciting to see, but it's gonna be on Verb to really make his mark.
Murder Mook's gonna need his own episode. There's a lot to say.
Absolutely, man. But
with the end of our segment coming up,
yes, sir.
we should definitely tackle on.
We should definitely talk about that.
We should definitely talk about the battle of the night.
Yes, sir.
The champion of the night.
Yes, sir.
And the performer of the night.
I didn't know.
man.
I didn't know that.
Math
took
got everything.
all
Math
three
got-
bags
Math
last
got all
night,
three
man.
bags.
I didn't know that. Salute
All
to
three
him, man.
bags,
I
man.
did not know that. Well, then again, like I said, man, I was having a hard time, you know, because after that battle, when they was waiting for it to be judged, man, they was sitting here, talking to Mood, talking to different people, and like I was getting irritated. the level of the music that was irritating me. The sound quality of the interview at the time was irritating me, and I was just like, you know, I didn't want to hear all of that. So I'm very happy to hear that he got all of those. I do think that him and Ill Will put on
Potential battle of the year.
it's
Early
nothing.
candidate.
Yo.
There's nothing though like seeing somebody go from their last, well, not their last two, but the last two performances that everybody talk about with Math. I can't say nothing. They were bad.
Yo.
So to see him come back and you know, the only thing we'll get into it, but he didn't get all the bags, you know what I'm saying? But he got the majority. So to hear he got the champion tonight and all that, I'm happy for him. Man.
He's in a different place in life. You can tell.
Absolutely. Now, before going into this battle, remember when we did our predictions?
Right.
I had Ill Will slightly edging Math, right?
I had Math winning.
Right.
And being
You had Math winning from the jump.
and being the champion
Right.
of the night. Right.
Now,
Oh,
but
wow.
that morning, though, I watched Math versus Shotty P on KOTD. I didn't see that battle before I made the prediction. I said, yo, where did this Math come from?
Yeah.
I thought it was a whole new dude. Like, he looked rejuvenated.
Yeah.
So after I saw that battle, on the way to drama, I said, you know what? I'm changing my mind. I got Math.
No, he's in
Yo,
a different state right
yo,
now.
I didn't see the battle. I saw the battle. I said, yo, this dude is on fire.
This might have
Yo.
been. This is to me is the best
I
Math.
was not disappointed by Math.
You don't think
at
so?
all.
No, no.
Math was
You don't think?
on
Hold on. You don't think
fire.
this is the best Math ever?
No.
I've seen a lot of Math performances live.
Yo.
Which one is better?
I could tell you better. I can't tell you what's the best.
Which
I could-
one
What's
was
better? What's better?
Off the top of my head, versus Dose Part 2.
What?
That rematch, I thought that he
That was really
came-
good. That was really good Math.
Not better
Performance,
than
bars,
this.
performance, bars,
You know
entertainment,
why it won't-
everything,
you know why it won't be
everything,
better?
everything,
Because this one-
jokes, everything.
This one had way more on the line and had way more magnitude. Like we can be honest, he was a favorite going against
was-
those. He
yeah.
was a favorite
Another
going.
one I think that was better than his Ill Will thing was versus Marv 1.
Well,
He
see,
left with
that's-
Marv 1's head
That's the standard.
versus Arsenal.
That's the standard.
No,
Yeah,
I
the
thought-
Marv one is always gonna be the standard for Math.
I
Yeah.
thought this was Marv 1-esque. I thought this was Chilla-esque. And there was another battle that I thought that he had to meet the same state. I can't remember it right now.
Disaster maybe. Patch Day.
Yo,
Disaster
yo,
battle
but
was dope too.
Math
man.
was so. I'm talking about from the first bars, from the intensity on his face. The only thing I will say is that Math is known to have slight slip ups here or there, where he gets
Yeah.
stuck over a few words here or there.
Yeah.
Now, if this battle was completely, both guys were on 100 and Ill Will didn't slip up at all, like we could have judged it by that. So all in all, Math was damn near perfect the first 2 rounds. Like I'm talking about from jokes to hardcore bars to everything. Like he was just on one.
I call it
rounds
his
1 and
best
2.
because it's like he was the underdog going into it, and like all his interviews prior to the battle, he kept saying, "This can be the best battle. I'm gonna have the performance. I'm gonna win." Like he was confident.
Yeah.
And he said, "He bet ARP. I'm a 30 Ill Will," and he was on his way to it. He was up 2-0.
And
Let's
by
get
the
into the
second
round. Go to the rounds.
All right,
I got
look,
something to say about all that
the
shit.
first round, Math started off strong,
Mhm.
right? And it was like, wow, this is a really interesting Math. Like he opened the gate really strong, and Ill Will just slightly left the door open, very slightly, and he just ended the round really weak.
Yes.
But that was it. But other than that, that round is close as fuck.
And we always talk about this. It's like if you're killing all round long, you can't just all of a sudden put your guns away and just and just yell at the guy from across the street. Like you can't be in a shootout, put your guns away and start yelling. Like Ill Will was on fire because Math was so on fire that I'm like, yo, Ill Will's gonna have a hard time topping this. And like I said, with the entertainment factor, I'm like, okay, you got me. I'm entertained by this. I'm with you. And then he just let me down at the end of the round, and I'm like, bruh, come on, man. You could have brought this home right there.
He just ended
you know
it
what I mean?
strong. You could have edged it to well.
And that happened like 2 out of the 3 rounds. You know what I mean? I believe it was 2 out of the 3 rounds, and I'm like, yo, all bruh needed to do was just kind of like close it off a little bit harder, and you would have had more of a discussion of who would have won.
I want to give big acknowledgement to Ill Will because this was the best Math that a lot of people seen. He stood in front of it, and guess what? He didn't die.
Didn't die at all.
He didn't even lose clearly.
No.
That shows how great Ill Will is.
Yo, and he even said it himself in that second round. Like
he said, "This is the best
Math
I've ever seen."
Yo, and it hit, man. That Math was on fire, and Ill Will survived that, and still came out looking good himself too, man. What'd you think about rounds 1 and 2?
But 1 and 2, I thought it was Math. I thought Math took rounds 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. I felt like first off, that first round, I thought Math edged.
Mm-hmm.
That second round, especially looking at the score, I totally disagree with the score that we have in front of us. I thought second round Math left Earth. I felt like it was. See, whenever you go first, the way I see it is you got to put pressure on somebody, and I thought Math put so much pressure on Will, and it makes you have to elevate. Bottom line is that second round Math went crazy, and I don't think as good as Ill Will's second round was. It'll just show you how much better Math's was because I didn't think that second round was
close. Math and Patch Day, the only ones that got 10s on anybody's scorecards.
Yeah, and not for nothing, I thought, once again, man, battle rap stats, we're only going by his personal votes because he was the official at-home pay-per-view judge for this battle.
I didn't even know that.
To give Ill Will a 7 for the first round, I thought that was a little low.
I don't remember what I thought.
So you would prefer 9-8 instead of 8-7?
Yes,
No.
that's how I felt watching the battle.
Yeah.
Or even if you wanted to do 10-9, I know Math had the slight little sputters. Even if you wanted to do whatever,
can't
9,
give him a 10, but
can't give him a 10,
9-8.
but 9-8. If you wanted to do that, I could see that. 7 I thought was a little low because, like you said, Will survived that, came back and was scorching. 10-9 second round, I'm cool with that. Math didn't stumble at all. He didn't fall.
Will's 9 for that second round is so strong.
Will's 9 is anyone else's 10.
Yes, easily.
You see what I'm saying? Like, and you can't give
could
Math
agree
an
with
11.
it.
You know what I mean?
Well, I would have gave him 11. I don't remember what I scored it because I might have gave him an 11. Now
Wow.
I think about it. Now I think about it. You know what I'm saying? But my problem is that third round. My
Okay,
problem
talk
is the
about
third round. I thought Math took that third round, and
You thought Math took the third round?
I don't think there was a body. I think Math got it, and this is what edged it for me. Man, that whole Jamaican shit that Ill Will did felt so flat.
I said that. I said that to V. I said, yo, that could have cost him that round.
And to me it did.
Wow.
I thought
To me it did.
in the third round, Math's first 2 rounds was so strong, and then he came with kind of like a story mode third round, and it was good. But compared to the first 2 rounds, it just didn't have that same sting to it.
I agree.
And I thought Ill Will came out smoking in the third. I thought he was on fire. Bars. And then he brought the Yardie out. and in the yard, man, now deliver them bars,
No,
boy.
yeah, that was
And
bad.
that fell flat, but I felt like he still did so much in that round that whatever. We'll give it to him.
Moving forward,
We'll
I
give
don't
it to
I don't
him,
want to
but-
see Ill Will unless he's motivated. Moving forward,
Yeah, and
because that's gonna be hard to beat.
And ARP is motivating these guys. He's dropping heavier bags on these cats.
Yep.
There's more incentive on these cats. ARP is making a push in 2018 to take RBE to the next level, and this
Right.
was a great
Yeah,
start.
my
right here
only
for this
issue
summer.
with that is I got nothing but
3
respect
minutes.
for RBE and them, but I want to put a little more pressure on the battlers.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all gotta co-promote with the man. The man is
Absolutely.
doing everything that he can. You gotta
all
co-promote.
day long.
Math did a couple
Yeah, he
interviews.
did his thing.
Everybody
He
for
did
most
his
part
No.
did.
See, but I'm not. Yes, interviews. Yes, definitely interviews.
But you mean just things on their own to help?
just
push
little
it.
things, my man. Put a little quick 2-minute video out there talking crazy. Get on
Absolutely.
Twitter, talk a little crazy, or do like Math normally does with almost all his opponents. He adds all of them on Twitter. And he
Yeah.
frustrates them a little, start talking crazy.
Mhm.
I just want to see a little more of that, and the owners can't only be on RBE.
Last
I hear you.
last question before we get out of here about Math. Do you expect the rest of Do you expect him to perform like this for the rest of the month?
Jay?
It better happen at Mass because I'm there.
Because now I might switch my Snake Eyes pick, man.
Yo, I think he's coming to.
I don't care about the Snake Eyes battle.
Yo,
I'm gonna watch, but I don't. It's not exciting for me.
I think he's
Right.
coming to put Snake in the bag like Jake the Snake. You know what I'm saying? Like Jake Roberts. He's coming to put Snake in the bag. Yo, it's gonna be a lot harder than Snake Eyes thinks it's gonna be.
I agree.
Yeah.
He's got that star power, and he's coming off of winning 3 bags and having a stellar performance on RBE.
Snake Eyes got a long night.
He's got a long night, man. But to bring this back home, man, RBEENT.com. If you want Murder Mook tickets, if you want to go get that VOD, I suggest everybody go check it out.
Shouts
Please
to,
do.
Shouts,
Fire.
You won't
shouts
be
to ARP,
disappointed.
Shouts to
Lawrence,
ARP,
the whole staff.
Lawrence, Shata.
Yeah.
Check out Rap Grid for that pay-per-view. Jay
At a
Legend.
fair price. At a
Yeah,
fair
at a
price.
fair
too.
price,
At
man.
a fair price.
Jay Legend, man, promote your stuff. Let people know
Yeah,
how they
man.
can check you out.
Thank you guys again, and
thank you,
it's,
my
it's
brother.
at J Legend, the letter J, the word Legend, the letter the numbers 100 on Twitter, on Instagram, and you can catch me on YouTube, Battle Rap Opinions.
All right, man. Big France, take us out, brother.
Yo, man. Shouts to Pearly Gates 2, successful event.
Yes, sir.
And we're signing out, man. If you
Tell them
follow-
where they can find us,
Yeah,
bruh.
You can find the show on iTunes, Spotify. We're on YouTube. Coming YouTube this weekend.
Woo.
You can
Turn
follow
up.
us on Twitter, Instagram. We Talk Battle Rap.
And follow me at Program V. And check into the latest episodes of Let's Talk Battle Rap. And we'll see you next time.
And you know what? I'm gonna drop my recap that I did with ARP for Pearly Gates 1, so people can hear that and see the comparison from both events.
Let's do it, my brother. Let's
Yeah,
do
man.
it, man. Till next time, friends.
Yeah, we're signing out.
Peace.